It's really big.
What's big?
My fucking nose is big.
69 meal with crisp cut fries and a chocolate shake and orange salsa.
69.
Not salsa, sauce.
Salsa.
You fucking idiots! Look at this horn, dude. They built the whole bike, and then somebody was like, "Oh shit, we forgot to mount the horn."
Yeah, they just wanted to fuck the aftermarket industry.
All right, so we are here working with Cody. We're gonna be working on his bike today. We're gonna be doing a 3-hole oil service. So we're gonna kind of go over what that entails, because it is not just an oil change. We are going to be going over all the maintenance stuff, all the lubrication, retorquing things, everything you guys should be doing every 5,000 miles. So we already got the bike hot, so we let it run for 3 minutes on the lift. We're now gonna start draining all the oils, and then I'll go over kind of everything else that we're gonna be doing.
Hey, so tell them about your shop, dude.
Well, you know, we got our shop here. I started about 5 years ago. I was originally the service manager at our local dealership, but kind of got over it and over robbing customers because there's all this stuff that we put on new bikes. But I knew that we could do much cooler stuff for much cheaper, so decided to branch out. We now have about 6,000 square feet. We just added on our dyno room. We're going to be adding on a classroom to teach you guys a lot more stuff in the future. And basically all my techs are Harley factory trained technicians, master level technicians, plus myself. And then we also have Kate, who's kind of like our fabricator, so we can pretty much do anything from servicing brand new bikes to full frame up builds. Kind of have a lot of stuff going on. And now we got a good partnership going with GP Suspension, so we've been doing a ton of that stuff. So right now we're actually shut down so I can get caught up on some stuff that I had going on earlier this year. And we're adding a few things like an engine clean room, suspension area, all kinds of stuff. So it is pretty cool. We got some cool stuff cooking.
It's a super cool shop. It's Miller Speedco in Ventura, California. Don't bug him right now, but we'll make an updated video when it reopens.
Right.
But I appreciate you taking the time to help service this thing, dude. So do oil change, first hole.
So we're gonna start on this side. We'll pull the trans drain plug. Then we'll go to the other side. We'll pull the primary and the engine oil.
I'm very curious because I blew the transmission, not the tranny,
Whatever you say.
on this thing, and I'm curious to see if there's any knickknacks. You know what I
Any
mean?
metal shavings or anything?
Yeah.
What year is this bike?
22.
22. I know in the earlier models on the 6Bs they had I think it was like 18 to 21. Yeah, that looks clean.
All right. Oh wow.
Looks really clean. Yeah, look at that. Not many shavings.
Ooh,
Good.
we're good.
You're always gonna get a little bit of material from the shift works, but
Yeah.
that actually looks okay.
And that
But
oil was
on
like
the
brand
18
new.
to 22s, they had a problem where the shifter paws were not machined correctly. So shifting from second to third, or excuse me, first to second, it was hitting a false neutral a lot of times because it wasn't getting all the way around the shift drum and pulling it. So they did make an update for that, but 22 probably should have had the updated one.
Right.
What gear blew out? Third?
It's 5th and 6th.
Fifth and sixth.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So.
Alright, so we pulled these. Engine one looks good. Nice and clean. Primary. A little bit of grime on there, but that's probably just your clutch plates.
Yeah.
Are you a clutch dragger?
Probably. But check this out. This is Centauro too.
Yeah, a little skip plate.
Yeah, dude, that thing's bitch.
Dude, you actually hit it. Look at you. Oh, a couple scratches on there.
Yeah, well,
Alright.
I dropped the bike.
Oh, God.
No, I didn't.
Alright, let's see. Very easy to break.
I already snapped a few. That's why I have 4 more sitting at the house.
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck?
Time is money, man.
God damn, I've never seen that before. That is fucking sick.
We got top-notch stuff over here.
We found a bent over here, like a dent, nice sized dent. That was before I did the 1 inch over with GP. But that Colorado trip, I'm not gonna lie, that took a beating on the bike. Just because it was like,
you hit one overpass super hard like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people will do that. But a lot of times people will put like those things on or crash bars on, or a lot of people put those stupid LED lights underneath their
yeah,
triple trees
and they don't
shit.
realize it.
They don't realize that when that fork completely compresses, that it makes contact with that shit, and it'll always dent the fenders. A lot of people do like a 21 wheel setup, and they put the raise the fender up with the adapters and everything.
Right, but also you helped manufacture, or you helped R&D.
Yeah. So when we did these rear shocks, basically we worked closely with the manufacturer of them, which they're using all of GP's products, all of GP's, engineering and all that stuff, but they're the ones that are just kind of making the stuff for us. Some of the stuff, a lot of internals are made by GP, but I worked really closely with the engineers to develop the prototype. Once the prototype was out, then we got it over here. I put it on my personal bike, and that's when we kind of went through everything and checked it all out. I made a lot of changes.
So what would you say, like, why would someone want a premium product than, let's say, your off-the-shelf products? I'm not going to name names, but we all know which one.
So basically, like all of our shocks, when we are selling your shock, we're going to find out your weight with riding gear on, the passenger weight, percentage of time you ride with the passenger, the riding style. Now, the reason we ask all that stuff is because we're basically trying to calculate what spring rates to use and all that to get the initial setup on the shock right, and then we use the adjustments, which we have 28 clicks of adjustment on the compression side, on the rebound side, and then there's 15 on the rebound side. So you use those to kind of fine tune it from there, because everybody's different in how they like to feel things and stuff like that. So it's kind of personal preference from there, but we get you to a very, very good starting point. Now, once you have good suspension front and rear, and it is tuned correctly, because that's a very, very major part, just like we had to do some stuff to yours today, which it makes a world of difference. To the point where I have a video of me going over a really fucked up street around the corner where it's like literally, potholes just this deep and all over the place. So I took a video with a GoPro on my helmet, just riding over that on stock suspension. You seeing bars fucking flopping around, mirrors are flopping, all that shit as I ran over everything. And then after putting front and rear GP suspension on it, I took another video riding, and dude, it just sucks up everything. So when the suspension is doing all the work and taking everything from the road away from actual your feeling, one, you get less fatigue, so that means you can ride longer. Two, you're more comfortable, so you enjoy the ride more, therefore you're going to want to ride more. Then three, with the adjustability factor of it, if you know that you're going to be going on a long trip and you normally have your stuff pretty stiff and pretty aggressive, but you know that you're going to be on the freeway for 1,000 miles, like if you're going to Sturgis and back or whatever, you can take the adjustments and you can adjust it to be much more comfortable for that specific ride. And then when you get there, if you want to go rip through the canyons, you want to make it aggressive again, reach down, adjust it. Now, we also designed this mount, which everybody else, most manufacturers, we see them mounted at swing arm or other weird places.
Or the Olin's one that kind of sticks out here.
The Olin one kinda
on top of that,
out.
you're spending what, almost $2,000 on that suspension setup, and then what, you have to spend another $60 on this stupid fucking thing.
Or you could get the ones that do mount off of these holes, but literally it's just a flat fucking piece of metal with spacers. Like,
right,
they took no time to design anything to look good or be more functional or kind of match the price point of the shock. You know what I mean? Like, it just looks so fucking cheap. I've seen ones that just come with like literally hose clamps and rubber things to put on the fucking swing arm, and it's like just ridiculous. So we went with the full billet mount. We mounted it to the front strut bolt. That way, easily accessible on the fly. So while you're riding, you can literally reach down and you can adjust that rebound.
what are we doing?
So right now we're pulling the air cleaner off so we can clean it. It's part of the difference between a service and an oil change is we do take off the air filter element, we clean it, and then we re-lube it and reinstall.
And I didn't know this, but air cleaner actually makes a difference when they're clean and dirty.
We're also going to gap your spark plugs. We're going to go through and retorque all the critical fasteners, lube and adjust all the cables and all that fun stuff. Ooh, almost dropped it. See that? It's professional. See, look at all that oil sitting there. You want to clean all this stuff up, clean the throttle plate, all that shit. We're working in white today to show all these mechanics that you can work in white and not get dirty.
That's white.
That's white. See that shit? I'll double check your breather bolts too. These things usually don't come loose, but they do have a tendency to.
Check out that Bamco fucking.
Oh, Bamco hooked you over there?
Yeah, this
Oh, that's it. They actually make cool stuff, dude. Those little bolt kits.
Yeah.
We did that on. We're gonna be doing that on Bryce's bike. So part of a service is different than an oil change. Is we're gonna be doing a few things like we just redid your oil or your air filter. Remember how many things we found loose?
Yep,
bolts
a
loose,
lot.
Breather bolts loose. So we want to always check these, make sure these bolts are tight. When you pull this cover off, obviously make sure all the other bolts inside are nice and tight. Another thing we're gonna be checking is exhaust nuts because they are prone to going loose. Then I always check the back one too, mounting bolts for the exhaust. You're gonna want to check these motor mount bolts. So these ones here, one on the other side, those tend to come loose a lot too. I always check the coil as well as we are going to check axle torque, caliper brakes, or the caliper mounting bolts. We're going to be checking tires, checking brake pads, checking brake fluid. Basically going through a whole bunch of stuff, which we're just going to kind of bang through really quick. Then once we top off, put the drain plugs back in, we're going to top off all the oils. We'll bring the bike down, and then I'm going to kind of show you how we just check everything on the top. I always check riser bolts, all your perch bolts. We pull your levers out, your pivot pins. We're going to relube all that stuff, make sure everything's working good. Relube your kickstand, check your kickstand bolts. So we're just going to kind of burn through some of that stuff right now. And yeah, get her done. Hi, Cody.
I didn't know if you guys were filming this
We're filming,
video.
dude, but it's a vlog, dude. We're
Oh, it's a vlog?
We're vlogging, so
well,
it's
I would
lax,
trust
man.
everything this guy says, because apparently he owns this big old motorcycle shop.
That's the one, dude.
I'm proud of you.
Hey, thanks, man.
You're welcome.
So if you ever have a wrench that's too short and you want to put some leverage on it, you put two together. Snap-on actually made a little groove that it goes in. Look at them.
That's fucking smart, and that's why
That's
you
not
pay.
mine, but
That's
I
why you
actually
pay
have
for
some.
Snap-ons.
I know, right? Whoa, dude!
Yeah, that's an issue.
What the fuck?
That's an issue,
Come
but
on, man.
I told you, did I not warn you, sir?
Yeah. We also found your brake line, remember?
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Oh yeah, we're not gonna talk about that.
Well, since Dale's, by the way, I'm gonna talk a little bit about Dale's bike. So Dale works for GP Suspension, coolest fucking guy, super rad dude, right? Bought a brand new 2024 Lowrider ST. This thing has 6 miles on it, 6, not 60, just 6 miles on this bad boy. Well, brought it down to GP or rode it to work one day and kind of left it there. And they were about to start it on, see what's going on. They were riding over here and yeah, to get an estimate on cams and stuff like that. So I guess when they started on, they fucking blew the they blew the motor.
Well, it didn't technically blow. It was
Okay.
making a loud knocking noise. So immediately I could tell it was in the valve train, and it seemed like lack of oil pressure or something, Pressures weren't pumped up. So I let it sit over the weekend, and when I started it the next Monday, it was a lot quieter, but still had this weird noise, and I didn't feel right letting it go like that. So, I worked very closely with a couple dealerships, and we were able to just pull it apart and see what's going on. And, the further we dug, the more we found. And then finally, anytime you do an engine repair or a warranty job through Harley Davidson, in order for them to warranty that job in the future, if it lands under warranty guidelines, you have to have had to replace the oil pan and the oil pan gasket, and both of those need to be on the repair order. The reason being is, say you blew up a motor and a bunch of metal gets pumped through the engine. Inside the oil pan, there's an actual self-contained filter element, which is sealed, so you can't clean it. So you have to actually replace it in order to replace that filter to make sure you're not building a new motor and pumping a bunch of metal through it.
Yep.
So, I called the service manager over there and I was like, hey, I forgot to pull the pan and do all this stuff. But when I did that, I found a ton of brass metal shavings in it, which there's only two things in an engine that's brass, and that's the connecting rod bearings or bushings, and then the bushing inside the rocker arm supports that the rocker arm, or inside the rocker arm itself, that the pivot shaft slides in and out of. And we found that the rear cylinder exhaust rocker arm literally looked like they had ran the bike with no oil for like 50 miles. I mean, it was bad. So, upon pulling it apart, checking it all out, all that stuff got pumped through the brand new engine that only had 6 miles on it. So, and ultimately we're going to be doing flywheels and 131 kits. Yeah, we got the drums and bell right here.
Brand new 24 Street Glide, brand new 24 Lowrider ST, and a clapped out Lowrider S.
Oil inside the oil filter, and then you also want to lube up the O-ring. Just like that, right around the rim.
So install that, and then we're gonna pour the oil in. All right, so what did we do?
So we went over everything, we retorqued all the critical fasteners, we found all the loose bolts on the air cleaner, found his dented fender, which we're gonna look into, a couple other things that we fixed, like the shifter shaft was bent, so we went ahead and replaced that real quick. But just all things that you find on the surface, like the exhaust nuts, loose, riser bolts, loose. Luckily I did check his tire pressure right now, and that was pretty good. So a lot of times we see a lot of tires that, are messed up due to incorrect tire pressure. So they start to feather and basically start to get a wave in them or things like that, which is all due to incorrect tire pressure. So whenever you're servicing your bike, check tire pressure, go through all those things so you find all that loose stuff.
And I would just say check it every once a month or once every
Yeah.
couple of weeks. It doesn't take long to just
Run
check
through
it
it real
real
quick, kind of, which we'll be doing more videos and stuff on, you know, what tools to buy and shit that you need to kind of
Right.
be able to check that shit yourself. So
But the whole point of this video is I wanted to make a video as like, hey, this is the standard that if whether you're in LA or SoCal or not, if you can't get to a shop, this is the standard, and this is in a way a checklist. This is what you need to do, and
just how I mean, we just started a minute ago, and like you said, you can instantly hear a difference.
Yeah.
Just from making small adjustments and cleaning things up and gapping the spark plugs and doing stuff like that. I mean, you instantly can hear a difference in how the bike runs. Right on.
without further ado, thank you, Bryce from
Yes, sir.
Miller Speed Co. If you guys are in Ventura County, hit this guy up. Don't call him yet though, because he's busy.
We're worldwide though.
Well, see you guys on the next one.